location at Spirit Keeper Equine Sanctuary. Today is Saturday, February 15th, 2020, and I have 3 pythons that woke up early afternoon, which is usually what they do when it's time for them to eat. When I see the snakes waking up earlier than normal, I'll usually check to see when they last ate and what they last ate for their last meal as far as meal size. And then if I see any feces in the enclosure, and I watch their behavior. So these 3 ate about 2 weeks ago. It's actually been 13 days, and their last meals weren't really very large. And so I think that they probably are hungry. One of their clues to me is usually when they start waking up earlier in the day. All 3 of these snakes are getting fed now in different manners, and as part of their training and habituation and part of their physical exercise and mental stimulation. The first one that I'm gonna feed is Merlin, and he's an inland carpet python, and I have a rat thawed for him that I'm putting in this container, and I'm setting it up here in one of our exercise spaces. And this will be the 3rd time that Merlin has done this particular activity, and I will bring him out here, put him in the exercise space, and then he can hunt for the food and eat it when he finds it. This is Merlin. He is an inland carpet python. He was hatched in 2016, so he's going on 4 years old. He was produced by Justin Julander, and typically I wait for him to come out on his own. He's been kind of in and out of his enclosure for the last couple of hours, but since I have the rat thawed and it's ready for him to go now, and he's sitting at the edge of his enclosure, I'm going to go ahead and get him out and carry him to the exercise space. And this is the 3rd time that Merlin will have done this activity. Merlin has used the exercise space several times, and Merlin comes out of his enclosure pretty often, and he climbs on these logs here, and he climbs over here on the snake tree, and he takes himself out of his enclosure to those exercise spaces on his own, and then when he's finished, he puts himself back in his enclosure. So that's all pretty impressive. He hasn't figured out how to get himself to the exercise space yet. Our usual routine is for me to wait until he comes out on his own into this area, and then I carry him to the exercise space. So I'm just gonna point Merlin up here to the exercise space, which, as I said, he is familiar with. And then I'm just gonna let him be and take as much time as he needs to explore, hunt, and forage for that food. Typically, what I see him do is general exploration around the exercise space, sometimes even climbing into the other room. We have a log bridge that goes into the next room. But once he catches that scent of the rodent, you see a sudden change in his behavior, where he goes from general exploration to actually honing in on the smell of the rodent, following the scent trail, and locating the prey item and then eating it. And it's taken a little bit to teach him to take the prey item out of a dish. I've noticed with most of the Morelia spilota that I work with, they find the food quickly, but then sometimes they'll bypass it and they won't even eat it unless I move it. Well, Merlin has learned to take the prey when he finds it in the dish. He's done this twice before, so we will just let him do his thing and see how long that takes him this afternoon. they're hungry and it's time for them to eat. Jim, what's that noise?
I didn't know I was going to make enough noise so you could pop.
Let me start over yet again.